everyone, and welcome to the very first episode 5 of Checkpoint Chat. Our podcast is half a decade old now. Matty, how do you feel about that?
How is it half a decade old? It's just number 5.
It's just 5. Well, it's half a decade. A decade's 10.
I know how that works.
And then when it gets to 10, he'll be, close to his teens.
It's episode V.
He's going to start rebelling.
When it turns 13.
Yes, 13 to 18, the episodes are going to be weird because it's going to be hard to kind of rein him in.
That's when we send the podcast off to a seriously strict school.
Yeah.
Keep them in line.
Go to boarding school.
Boarding school, yeah. They can hang out with all the other podcasts.
Yeah, so the podcast might get weird at that point because, it starts learning new things, start experimenting with drugs.
Body changes.
Yeah, first girlfriends, stuff like that. I mean, before you know it, our podcast is going to be older than us. And then what
Married
do we do?
with Baby podcasts.
Yeah, Married with Baby podcasts running around.
Can't wait to see
then we have to go to
Checkpoint
family
Chat Junior.
podcast brides, and we have to meet the parents of who he decides to marry. And oh man.
If this podcast could marry another podcast, which podcast would you like to be the suitor?
That's a good question. I don't know. I feel like if our podcast gets married to another gaming podcast, it's just too much.
It's just going to be gaming children.
Yeah, too many gaming children. Imagine our podcast got married to Serial. So I was the laid back, happy-go-lucky playing video games, and then the wife is this hardcore investigation.
It's murder mystery.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what she's going to do because she's investigated these murder mysteries, and if you piss her off, she just might kill you.
And then they name the kid Detective Pikachu.
Yes, 100%.
There we go.
A whole
Married
podcast
them
about
together.
Detective Pikachu.
Cool. We nailed that intro, I think.
Nailed it. That's the peak. It's never going to get better from. Oh my god. So yeah, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah.
How's it hanging?
Yeah. So I. So I just hit the microphone. You see, things are falling apart today already. I went baller last night. For the first time in a long time, I went drinking with friends. I've got friends down here visiting from Cape Town, and I only get to see them once or twice a year. So it was really good. We did this really cool thing where, you see, this is Cape Town people because they love their wines. So everyone who came, there were 6 of us, had to bring their own bottle of wine. And essentially when we got there, we put it in a paper bag and then numbered them. And then we all got scorecards. Now we aren't cheap. We are cheap. We are cheap. So everyone brought very cheapish ones. And we're trying to do a blind taste test to see which of these cheap wines we like the most, without kind of knowing. So I brought this I thought it was an expensive red wine. It was 60 rand. I was like, shit, this is a good 20 rand more than I'm willing to go usually.
Was it a fine Portuguese wine?
No, God, Portugal can't make wine. What are you talking about? Terrible wine.
Culture looks at you in shame now.
Yeah, no. So I bought this Simmons Flay wine. I thought it would be really good. It ended up being the one I ranked lowest because I didn't know I was drinking it. But yeah, essentially we just sat there drinking all these 6 wines. By the time we got to the 6th one, we were pretty drunk already because 6 wines. And then we just revealed them, and turns out my favorite wine of the night was a bottle of white wine from Tall Horse, which was 40 rand.
Tall Horse.
So I'm I finished drinking that the whole night. We made homemade pizzas and carried on drinking lots of wine.
Sounds like a good night out though.
Yeah, I drank red and white wine, so my head is not loving me today. Yeah.
So you're literally hanging on this podcast.
Oh, yeah. I'm hanging on this podcast. I'm drinking water. It's fragile days.
Water's good for you though, man. So we're recording on a Friday for a change, a Good Friday.
A Good Friday.
Nice little public holiday. And it's nice to have
You just passed out last night.
Yeah, so let me break down my evening for you last night.
It sounds riveting.
Yeah, it was really exciting. So on the way home from work, I chat to Lenska and I'm like, cool, it's a public holiday tomorrow. So tonight, what do you want to do? Do you want to go out? Do you want to chill? If you want to chill, do you want to play Fortnite and watch some series? She's like, cool, yeah, let's just chill, whatever. So get home, shower, have dinner. We decided to lay in the bed at about 8. And we just passed out for the whole evening.
Completely passed out.
I woke up at about 10:30. I'm like, oh shit, there goes my gaming nights and series watching. And yeah, we just slept for a solid 12 hours, it seems like. And here we are today.
Baller.
I'm fresh though, unlike you.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What's going on?
I didn't have the mics powered correctly.
Oh, So is it not recording?
No, it's still recording. We're good. I think I think maybe it didn't have as an effect.
Oh, there we go.
As an adverse effect. Let me just make sure before we get
recording,
to like an hour and a half, and then next thing. Now the peaks are looking good. So I think we're fine. We're fine.
So we're flying with it.
Yeah, we're flying with it. If the first 4 minutes sound super weird, that's because, well, turns out I wasn't giving phantom power to these microphones because I'm an idiot.
I don't know how that thing...
Still hanging.
You're still hanging. I don't know how that thing works. So
yeah, I'm still figuring it out. I'm watching these red lights for this compressor go off. I read something that apparently the lights have to go off kind of like infrequently while you're talking. So when you were talking and the thing was just red, I was like,
no.
This is probably bad. I should probably turn this down a little bit.
Okay.
So
understand.
I don't know. This is a figuring out process. We'll get there eventually.
Learning.
We'll get there. There's all these knobs and doodads. I'm pretty sure if the podcast life doesn't work, I could just become a DJ.
Yeah,
with this terrible
literally
little
just queue up a playlist. I mean, you got all these streaming services now. You just queue up a playlist.
I mean, I've got Apple Music and I got Spotify. Mm-hmm. So like, what else do I need? I just plug it in, put on that Persona 5 soundtrack, just pretend to turn some knobs. Good.
So when someone comes to request music from you, they're not going to ask for a song, and they'll be like, "Hey DJ, could you please switch to Spotify?"
Yeah, exactly. They're like, "Man, I've got the Spotify link. Just play it, man. It's a sick playlist." Yeah. That's how DJing works nowadays. I mean, I think we figured it out. We've hit the nail on the head there.
DJs are hating us so much right now.
They're just like, fuck these people insulting our craft. These people that just stay at home and play games all day.
These people go to bed early and party the night before.
Think they know what we are. They know what we are
What's
about.
Going on.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not insult DJs.
This is not a DJing podcast.
No,
because we would just insult them all the time.
Yeah, and
my brother's a part-time DJ. Not really.
What, seriously?
No, he doesn't. He does it as a hobby. He doesn't do it.
Your brother that runs with us.
Yes.
Oh shit.
I have a brother.
Okay. I thought you had two for some reason. No, you have a brother and a sister. That's right.
No, he DJs.
Okay.
Yeah, fun story. I'm going to interject this quickly because why not?
No, go for it. I'm keen to hear about this.
So when he got married, him and his wife Daniela went on honeymoon. I think they went to the Maldives.
Okay.
And my brother and they went via Dubai. They spent a few days in Dubai, and he ended up picking up like a whole, I don't know, DJ. I suppose like this, a DJ deck, whatever you want to call it.
Just a mixing board.
Yeah, and then so he was worried about customs coming back, so he took the thing out the box, something along those lines, had it wrapped, but they ended up stopping him when he came back in South Africa, and they're like, well, what is this? And he ended up convincing them that he was a DJ who had just come back from a tour.
That is amazing. That is so amazing.
So yeah, I don't know how he pulled it off. We didn't pay customs. If the police are listeting to this, please don't arrest him.
That is so amazing. It's just like, it's a DJ. I had it there already, so it's cool. It's cool. It's like when you buy a phone overseas or you buy something like tech, you just open it and pretend you had it there the whole time.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah,
with the whole DJ scene.
Next time on episode 6 of Checkpoint Chat, no one's here hosting because SARS has come to raid us and fucking lock us in jail.
Yeah, for insulting DJs and ratting out siblings.
Yeah, and letting them know how we get past duty frees. Anyway.
Moving on.
Anyway, this is Checkpoint Chat episode 5. So we're here to talk about games.
Yeah,
obviously. So what has been taking up your attention on this fine short week? It was a 3-day week for me.
We last recorded on Sunday, so it's only been
like 5 days.
4 days. Did you fail maths? We're on day 5.
This is Friday. Oh, okay, well, I'm counting today. Shut up.
So yeah, I haven't really played too much other than Fortnite and Final Fantasy Brave Exvius
Ponzi schemed Final Chapter Remix 2. Cool. Love that game.
So which would you like to talk about first?
I want to hear more about Fortnite. I know we spoke a lot about Fortnite and mostly about Fortnite and PUBG and how they compete. But I want to hear more of what you played because you kind of like sunk your teeth into it properly this week, you and Lenska.
Yeah, so the first, when we spoke about it last week, we had literally played one whole evening of Fortnite. We spent a good extra bit of time this week both playing. So one evening I was at her, we played on the PlayStation, then the other evening we played on PC. So I got a bit of a feel for both platforms. But on PC we played it with a controller anyway, because I think it's good for us to just get used to it. Instead of bouncing between the control schemes. But yeah, no, we both love the game. We managed to play some squad games with some of my work colleagues, which makes the game feel somewhat different, running around with other people. And obviously there's a lot, I don't know, it's a lot more fun, I think, because there's just opportunities for more chaos and randomness and whatnot. Like the Lenska was playing the one game with work colleagues, and I'm chatting, we're all chatting together. Her and I are sharing a headset so we can both chat to the party. But we're still learning the game. So we reached a point where we're just chilling in a building. But I didn't know there was a strategy or anything. So she's like, what should I be doing? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe harvest some resources while we're just chilling here. So she starts like
rock,
so she starts beating the shit out of the walls and harvesting them. And Nick, one of my work colleagues, is like, whoa, what are you doing? We camping here.
So she's just destroying the only cover you guys have?
quickly snaps up a wall, and I was like, oh okay, sorry, don't destroy anything. We're actually like waiting it out now. But we had a ton of fun. I nearly said a ton of fun.
Love that.
I don't think we got too close to winning. There were 1 or 2 games, I think, as a squad we placed in the top 3 or top 4.
Okay.
But yeah, we both really hooked in the game, which is why I'm so bummed we didn't get to play last night. It's just been such a long week.
Yeah.
And all I wanted to do, what we both wanted to do, is just spend a whole evening again just running around.
Which are you finding easier, when you're playing with a squad or when you're just hitting that like completely solo?
No, I think a squad is a little bit easier in the sense that there's less pressure.
Okay.
When you solo, everything's on you. You have to carry yourself. You have to, if you do get to the final 2, you're going to have to be the one to finish off your opponent.
Yes.
Whereas in a squad, I mean, I've had the same thing in PUBG. I've won games where I've done literally nothing.
So that's true.
So if you have, it's just nice when you have a squad. And plus there's also an added social element. You guys just chat while you're running and you're building and doing whatever. And like I've already mentioned, the humor that comes out of it, these little snippets of stories that you can share the next day or with other people, that just makes the game that much more enjoyable. I mean, the premise is simple, but there's just like, I don't want to say infinite replayability, because I'm sure I will get tired of it at some stage.
No, but I get what you mean. It's like this whole emergent, like, oh, we had this stupid game where I remember you telling me the story of one of Lenska's first games where she was chilling in a bathroom or a thing with a shotgun, and she's just like, I'm going to massacre anyone who comes through this door. Like,
no, she didn't have any weapon. She was just she literally landed, was in the circle, and I'm like, oh, we need to go find weapons. She's like, no, I'm going to stay right here.
I'm going to massacre anyone who comes through that door.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you going to do if someone finds you? She's like, I'm just going to kill them. I'm like, okay, I can't fault that logic.
I mean, then, she's understanding exactly what Fortnite is all about then.
Yeah, no, so from her side, it's really cool for me to see that she's getting into it, because the game's so easy to pick up.
Yeah.
And I mean, Lenska's, like I've said, not a hardcore gamer, and just the fact that she can pick up and she's enjoying it, I think it just shows that the game is very accessible for many people.
Well, it's a good thing you said that, because I can kind of segue into my kind of experience with Fortnite this week. It was so last week we recorded, I had my friend Kevin here, and he was playing while we were recording.
He was distracting.
Yeah, he was distracting us. And that was the first time he had played Fortnite, and he was like hooked after that. He went home, he sent me a photo of him downloading it on his PlayStation, which is a big thing because he doesn't really play online because he's got shit internet at home. So like for him to actively go to someone's house to download this game was like, I was like, okay, you really enjoy this. So we were playing it last night at this small get together, and it was just me and him and another friend of mine, Michael from Cape Town, who really doesn't play games. Like, he's just bought a PS4 and he purely uses it for like Netflix and smaller games. Like, he doesn't. The last time I saw him play games was when Red Dead Redemption came out, and he got super into just hunting bears in that game for some weird reason. I don't know. He really enjoyed it.
It's soothing.
Yeah, it's soothing or something. So he doesn't really play games, but he was like completely engrossed by this idea of Fortnite. And we were essentially just passing the controller around and taking turns and seeing who could get as far as possible while we were both, very drunk and like not completely with it. And it was so much fun. He ended up coming second the one round.
Oh, nice.
And it was so tense because in that match, he got like his first kill ever. It was completely lucky and he just got one. And then the circle just was so favorable to him. Whenever he was in the circle and it shrunk, he was in it again. So he hardly had to move. And he ended up getting to, first he got to top 10 and we were like, holy shit. And then top 5 and we were like, oh, okay, wait, hold on, this could be something. And next thing he was in the top 2 and there was only one guy left. But the guy he was playing with was clearly much better because he was building stuff, he was doing all sorts. And even though the circle was coming in on him, this dude was like, well, I just need to shoot the trees in front of Michael here and he doesn't have any cover. Yeah. And because Michael was drunk and completely like, he was panicking because he was second and he was stressed about being first. He ended up dying and coming second. But it was close. It was the most insane, just like all of us like standing up watching him and shouting like, go here, do this, do that, build here. He was trying to build while the one tree was coming down and like he just couldn't get it right. And he was building in the ground and oh man, it was just heartbreaking. It was just so good. Like, and the fact that he doesn't really play games, but he's able to pick this up and, still have a lot of fun with it, even though it's like a complex game in terms of rules and strategies and stuff like that.
There's depth there, definitely.
Oh, yeah. And like, that's where I think Fortnite does a way better job than PUBG. Like, I would never think of popping them down into PUBG because it just, no.
Take.
Yeah, never. So, I'm glad that you and Lensko are playing a lot, and I need to actually play with you guys in the squad. We need to squad up.
Other when you're not drinking and when we're actually awake.
Those are two good scenarios.
But yeah, sticking on that, I actually put out a poll on Checkpoint Chat's Twitter this week.
Oh, yes,
on Monday. And I said, Battle Royale is so hot right now. Which is your favorite? And the options were, flame emoji, because obviously. The options were PUBG, Fortnite, and other. So I put that in because I don't really know of any other mainstream battle royales. But
is H1Z1?
Oh yeah, okay. There's likes of that. So other got 21%.
Okay.
But
did anyone say what other was?
No.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe it's, although someone did comment saying Snake 3310, the original battle royale.
Oh, that was Michael Lohman, I think.
Yeah,
that was the original battle royale. It's just you and 100 apples.
And you and apples. Yeah, it's the opposite actually. Okay, but anyways, the winner was with 45% Fortnite.
Yeah.
Although yesterday when I checked the scores, Fortnite and PUBG were tied at 38%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were tied, and I was like, come on, like we need a few more votes. Let's determine a winner. So it shows that. I mean, this is just a little poll with, our little echo chamber of an audience.
No, of course.
So it's not indicative.
Indicative?
Jeez,
yeah, there we go.
I've been drinking, clearly, of, what it really is like out there. But I think the general sentiment is that Fortnite is more popular at the moment.
Yeah, although, I would say that.
Not to take away from PUBG. I think both are really great games in their own right. Personally, I'm just having more fun with Fortnite at the moment.
I'm feeling the same. I've completely turned around on my...
PUBG addiction.
Yeah, when I first started Fortnite, I was like, this is good, but I'm not getting the same sense of tension that I was getting from PUBG, and that's really what I enjoyed about the game more than anything else. But I found Fortnite just to be, firstly, the matches are a lot quicker, which I appreciate, and its mechanics just feel better at the moment. So, yeah, Fortnite's good, and I mean, a lot of people playing it. You know that when a game gets into mainstream news about, like, I think there was an Australian news piece early this week. Might have been Australian, not entirely sure.
It was Australian.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, these are the negative effects PUBG is having on our children. It's so addictive and this and that. And
that is the worst Australian accent I've ever heard in my life.
I was more going for like a very old congressman who doesn't understand what games are. Maybe I've mixed that up with sort of pseudo-Australian.
I go, here's the headline. Okay. That's probably the article you read on Critical Hit.
Hey.
It says...
Wait, who's it written by? It's definitely not me.
Darren. Good old Darren.
Because
it's got a Simpsons header, so it's written by Darren.
It has to be Darren.
And it says, oh, won't somebody please think of the children? The headline is, according to one Australian outlet, Fortnite Battle Royale is totally bad for children. So, yeah, basically what you said. Although, can they really say that Fortnite is bad for children when they're Australian cricketers are busy cheating?
Exactly. We have these Australian national models who are meant to be role models to children and be like, do the right thing, don't cheat. But they want to chastise Fortnite.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Fortnite in Australia. They're probably not gonna
good conflation there. I enjoyed that. I saw this really good advert. I think my mom showed it to me because, of course, there's all these parodies now on the Australian cricket thing. and it was these bunch of vets who were basically like parodying the whole sandpaper and balls thing, but with an animal's balls, of course. And they're like, don't sandpaper your balls, but do get your pets neutered. I was like, this is good. I enjoy
That's
this.
smart thinking,
smart. Yeah, it was very well done.
That's cool. Yeah, but that's Fortnite, I guess. What have you been playing this week?
So I actually been playing 2 games again, but we're in that weird like middle of me not knowing if I'm allowed to talk about said game. I can tell you I've been playing Minit because I tweeted about it, so I guess.
Minute? What's Minute?
So let me explain Minute. Minute is a game.
Minute.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Explain Minute in a minute. Let's go.
60 seconds. Minit, Minit, is made by a dude named JW. He is one half of Flambeer, so the guys who do Ridiculous Fishing and Nuclear Throne and stuff.
Okay.
So him and I think his girlfriend, I know her by her Twitter handle, Kitty Callis. I actually met her here, and she came for a maze, I think 2 years ago. She used to work at Guerrilla Games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and after they shipped Horizon Zero Dawn, I think she quit or she went on a hiatus, whatever. They together started developing this game called Minute with another guy whose name I can't remember, and their sound, very good freelance sound guy, Yukio. And the 4 of them have made this sort of like 2D Zelda-ish adventure. It feels a lot like Zelda, but the catch is that your life only lasts for a minute at a time. So every 60 seconds, your character dies, and you restart at your last kind of resting place. The game has like a few resting places that when you enter it, it's like, cool, this is your default resting place. Now, when you die, you'll respawn.
That's interesting.
And to me, it feels a lot like a Majora's Mask kind of thing. It's like 2D Zelda in that you're going around this world to find items, and those items will help unlock other pieces of the world. There's no dungeons per se, but it's like, oh, there's a tree blocking here. I need gardening gloves so that I can chop down a tree. Or
you're going to cut down a tree with gardening gloves?
Well, yeah, your sword and your gardening gloves or something like that. And like, oh, I need, this dude's dying in this endless desert, but I need him, so I'm running to him with a watering can to give him water or something like that. Like stuff like that. It's really cute. But in the same way as Majora's Mask, it kind of does this thing where like, a lot of things will be reset when you die, but certain things that you've achieved will stay constant.
Okay.
So like if you've saved a person, that will stay constant. If you've acquired a new item, that will stay constant. Stuff like that. And then some other things will be completely reset. So it's very much like Majora's Mask. So I, of course, was very into that sort of thing because I love Majora's Mask.
Addict.
But yeah, I guess I've just spoken about the game anyway, so whatever.
Is that what you're reviewing?
Yes, so that I'm busy reviewing that for GameSpot. I quite dig it, but there's a lot in the game that I haven't really touched on, especially what happens like at the end and the main message of the game and stuff like that. But I think it's coming out on Tuesday. It's on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, not on Switch, which is so weird.
That game's just not going to make it.
Man, it's so perfect on Switch. It's like this great... even the screen is like 4:3.
Oh, yeah?
So it's not,
cut off.
Cut off. It's like old Game Boy games.
So it'd fit perfectly. Well, maybe in future.
Perfectly. And so, I'm pretty sure maybe in the future. But I think it's going to be $15, and I would say that's very worth it. So I would grab that on Tuesday.
But I suppose we'll hear more of it next week.
Probably a bit more of a rounder feel. But other than that, I've been playing Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5.
Yeah, so that is
How's
certainly a game. A game
I don't
that
know
I'm
how
not
to read
entirely
that.
sure that I quite like yet. So which was the last Far Cry you played?
The last
Have
one.
you played Far Cry?
Yes, I have. Well, I played the first Far Cry.
That's the one I haven't played, actually.
The one you haven't. Yes,
The Crytek one.
Yeah, when that game came out, that was like, oh shit.
I didn't know there were aliens in that game.
Yeah, you play. Oh wait, no, it wasn't. No, Far Cry 1. I don't think had aliens. I think it had monsters.
Oh, okay. So it's like some supernatural.
Yeah, so you start out on the island. You're busy playing, shooting through all these mercenaries, and then later on, like I don't know if I'm butchering this, but I think you discover that they've been doing experiments on this island, and then eventually you're fighting a whole lot of monsters.
This really sounds like the first Crisis as well, because like the first Crisis is like you're in a jungle fighting dudes, next thing the aliens.
Yeah. Okay, so I suppose it's very similar in that sense, but Far Cry 1, when it came out, it was like the benchmark. Like, you need to upgrade your PC. I mean,
was it that?
I'll never forget the first time I
PC
played
run
it.
Far Cry?
Yeah, the first time I played it was like low everything.
Yeah.
It was hard to see or do anything properly. And then upgraded about a year or two later, and I replayed the game, and I was like, man, this game looks phenomenal.
But the first game was completely different to what Ubisoft has done with Far Cry.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it really was a linear / open space in the sense that you can tackle scenarios
kind of like Crisis then, yeah, a bit more open, but it's not like an open world.
No, yeah, you didn't have like a fancy suit or anything, and just literally you doing your thing.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So let's fast forward. So I've played that. I've played Crisis, played all those, but that's unrelated. I played Far Cry 2. That was the one set in Africa. Yeah. And I quite enjoyed that, but I don't know. I just never finished it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was a
in the story wasn't that great.
Thing. Yeah, I enjoyed it for a good few hours, and I just never got around to finishing it.
The thing that got me with that game was just watching it. I remember at the time I was working
burning shit down.
Yeah, I was at a BT Games. I worked there when I was in high school, and they used to have this PC on there that just. They would take those stupid NAG discs from
with all the
from the magazines, with all the trailers, and load that onto the machine, and those would be the reel of trailers you watched for a month. And it drove me mad, except with like...
With the fire.
Yeah, when it showed that Far Cry thing, I was always like, fuck, that fire looks so good. Like, and then it moves, and it was always these walkthroughs like, you can shoot this propane tank, and then the wind will take the fire into these AI enemies who clearly are stupid because they haven't smelt or seen this fire coming at them.
Or heard the explosion.
But I'm like, holy crap, this is so cool. So yeah, I have a soft spot in my heart for Far Cry 2.
Yeah. And then I did play Far Cry 3.
Great.
Also never finished it. I haven't finished any Far Cry's other than Far Cry 1.
Also a game that gets pretty terrible near the end. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But I mean, and then Far Cry 4, I didn't play. I dabbled with it like at the launch event, for example, and just stuff
you finished it in 20 minutes.
I finished it in 20 minutes. What a game.
Yeah. Speedrunner right here, Matty Figueroa.
First time you read it, you heard it here first.
Come at me, haters.
Come Far Cry 5.
What about Primal?
Primal also only dabbled with it. I've got Primal.
I've also got Primal and I just haven't played it yet.
I'm a bad Far Cry fan. Okay, I did enjoy the series back in the day. I just haven't got lost into it in the sense that other people have now. Although when Far Cry 5 was announced, I was again like I'm not really hooked. But based on what we've heard and seen, it seems like it's something worth playing. But let's hear what you have to say about it.
So the last one you played was Far Cry 3, which coincidentally is the last one I played before this one because Far Cry 4 came out and I was like, I should probably get into this, and everyone's saying it's good. I just never got around to playing it, and now I have like no real desire to go back to play it. Then I played a very little bit of Primal. The setting didn't really vibe with me that much. I couldn't get into it.
I think it was an interesting setting. So
I think it was cool that they tried to change it up. But I think what bugged me the most was that, cool, we've gone from guns to
prehistoric times.
Yeah, prehistoric caveman times. But this game feels exactly the same. Like the game didn't take advantage of its setting. Like you're still fucking clearing outposts, and these dudes have made cages to keep like cougars, and it's the same shit. It literally the loop was identical. I did like the fact that you could like take control of other animals. That was really cool.
It's interesting.
So my main issue with Far Cry has always been like, I really love the loop that they established in Far Cry 3. I thought that's why Far Cry 3 was really good. But since then they haven't really like changed that loop at all. And the main thing that drew me to Far Cry 5 was people saying, they've refined this loop. So it's still the loop, but they've made so many good quality of life changes that it feels different enough and feels more streamlined. And this is something Darren told me. This is something a friend at GameSpot, Mike Mahadi, also told me. And I agree with them now having played it, because I didn't want to be like, nah, I can't see that. I bought the game. I was like, I need to try and see, what this is. And I agree with them to a much lesser degree, put it that way. So Far Cry 5 is interesting mechanically because it's the first Far Cry that kind of doesn't gate your progress. When you get past the very short tutorial, your map is just opened up and you can tackle any of the 3 main regions at leisure. So there's these like 3 generals who all are like siblings of the main antagonist, Joseph Seed, who's kind of cool so far. He's not as good as Voss, but he's pretty charismatic. and you basically need to take down each of the 3 so you can get to him. But you can tackle them in any order you want, which is kind of liberating because, past Far Cry's, it's like you have to liberate this area, and if you don't have that area, you can't go there. It's kind of weird. And then also the map isn't littered with icons. So you'll have 1 or 2 icons that kind of show you like story missions and stuff, but you fill out your map as you explore.
Okay.
There's no more of that bullshit where you climb up a tower and then you fucking rip some cables out the tower and suddenly you've got 10 million icons on that region on the map. There's none of that. They even poke a joke at it, which I think is stupid because like Ubisoft has done it for so long and now they're being like all self-aware about it. It's like, no, you should have stopped this shit ages ago.
Yeah.
So in that way, it's really cool. Like you'll come across a sign for a deer and on your map will be like, okay, cool. This place is known to have white deer, so you can come hunt them here. So now it's added to my map.
Okay.
Or I stumble upon an outpost. Now that's added to my map.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Really, and I think that's a much better way to kind of incentivize exploration and stuff like that. That's really cool. Another thing that's really cool is, and I've just gone blank. Sure. Wow.
I'm not the only one. It's happened to me once.
Completely blank. Like I had it on the tip of my tongue. Okay, map, exploration.
Talking about towers. Gameplay loops.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
White
okay.
deer.
Oh yeah. Got it.
Got it.
So in the past, all things like you always had to do like story missions or side missions, and they were always missions. You had to go to someone, they had to assign the mission, you had to go do it. Far Cry 5 makes things a bit more emergent where like it adopts this system that's similar to Mafia 3. Did you play Mafia 3? So Mafia 3 was like, you have these regions and there's stuff to do in these regions, and every little thing that you do kind of chips away at the influence of the in Mafia 3 it was the like the Godfather or the Mafia boss in that region. Far Cry 5 does the same. So you have each region has this like meter, and if you kill like enemy patrols or you destroy like a small little shrine to Joseph Seed that you saw in the corner of your eye, or you do a side mission, or like you save civilians, stuff like that. Like every little thing you do contributes to this bar in some way. And when that bar gets up to a certain point, then it triggers something in the story. Okay. So it does a good job of making you feel like everything you do has an influence on the world, even though it's so game systemy that it's so easy to see through. It's like, oh, there's 2 shrines there. I will blow them up and then I'll get 50 XP or whatever to this stupid bar. And when I get 100, then this guy, like, it's so outwardly mechanical. It doesn't feel natural in a way. But I do appreciate that it's a different type of progression. Yeah. It's really, really cool. In the same way, progression itself, like unlocking your abilities, is you're given more control. In the past, you had to like hunt things, hunt like 3 deer so you can craft a wallet so you can carry 2 more bullets or some bullshit.
Because everyone carries bullets and wallets.
Yeah, stuff like that. And then you'd have a separate menu for perks and stuff like that. This is all being consolidated into one thing. So like you have a list of challenges, and as you knock off challenges like kill 5 enemies with this gun or kill 10 enemies with this gun, which seem like stupidly arbitrary challenges anyway. But as you unlock them, you get perk points, and then the perk points you can spend to like I unlocked a parachute, and I unlocked climbing gear, and I unlocked a wingsuit, and soon I want to unlock a health upgrade, or I want to unlock a second weapon slot in my weapon wheel, stuff like that. So you're given control of how to kind of progress, which is nice. These are all like small changes, but the game itself is no different. Yeah. The game itself is no different to like the core loop that you've expected since Far Cry 3, because you're still, even though you're doing this in a slightly more organic way, you're still, oh, there's an outpost, kill 6 people, cool, the outpost is liberated, people come in. Or like, oh, there's a civilian on the road, kill the 2 people pointing a gun at his head, he's free. The whole loop is identical. I mean, when I did a story mission, it was basically like, go to this area, fuck up all the people there, story mission done.
Death.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, it's the same Far Cry loop, which I understand is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I'm bored of it.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people love that loop. There's this really engrossing, like, kill some people. Oh, now I have enough money to buy a new gun. Oh, now I can afford a silencer. Now I can approach this thing differently. It's like, cool, but it's like I feel like Far Cry needs a sort of soft reboot like Assassin's Creed got, because even though Origins was a different game, it still contained a lot of that Assassin's Creed DNA, but it had enough changes to feel like, oh, this combat's completely different. This combat's revamped. Exploration is a bit different. The way missions work are a bit different. Like, it needs to shake up that loop a little bit. So it's not got its teeth sunk into me yet, because I'm playing it, and while I'm enjoying what I'm playing, I'm also like, I can see right through everything that's happening here. And it's so mechanical and inorganic, it's strange. But there are cool stories that you can do playing the game. You can play the game co-op. It's got this really dumb system for co-op though. So say we wanted to play it. And I'll be like, okay, Matty, I'll host. And you'll be like, cool.
You'll play some man.
Yeah.
Like man.
You're like, I connect to you. We play for like 3 hours. We get a bit far in the story, whatever. I'm like, cool, Matty, this is great. We should do it some other time. Then tomorrow you come. And then I'm not there. And you're like, man, I really want to play Far Cry. Man, you have to play all those missions again, because only the host's progress is saved. And I kind of understand the technical limitations around something like that, like the scripting. Like, if you do missions out of order, or you jump into my game and we're doing missions that weren't even unlocked to you, that can cause havoc with how the fuck this game now registers what is going on. But at the same time, Ghost Recon Wildlands, another Ubisoft game, does this really well.
Yeah.
Like, it deals with this really well. Why is that not implemented here?
In Far Cry.
Like, I literally... when Craig was like, why didn't you come play co-op with me? That was legitimately my reason. I was like, I don't want to, because I want my progress to save. Like, and that's keeping me from playing co-op.
So this is just your complicated way of saying you don't want to play co-op with me.
Yes, I'm not playing Far Cry.
What a bad friend. I'm not playing Far Cry 5.
I mean,
anyway.
the only way I see it being useful is if, like, I play with someone like Darren or Jeff, who have finished the game. So they just want to join in because they want to play some co-op, but they don't have to worry about any story progress because, well, they've finished it. So I think it's a dumb system that Ubisoft has solved in the past. So yeah, the story is also toothless as all hell. If you saw the marketing and like, holy shit, they're going to have something to say about radical America, and it's set in a real city. It's in Montana. It's not in like a nondescript island or a completely made up Himalayan valley. Like, they're like, no, this is a real thing. We're putting you in a city that exists, and like, this could maybe happen. And within like the first hour, you realize that's not the game they're making. Like, and that's 100% fine. Far Cry is wacky and stupid and ridiculous, but for all this marketing of religious zealots and cults and questions around obsessions over guns, because this cult is like obsessed with God and guns. Wow, middle America. Like, they have absolutely nothing to say about it. The antagonists so far are pretty unmemorable. Joseph Seed is interesting, but hasn't really done anything yet that is like, oh shit, that's fucked up. And at the same time, you are kind of no different. Like, you're just this deputy sheriff who's murdering a ton of people, working with local militia who are also murdering and torturing other people. So they're not really good people. It just really has nothing to say, which, again, it's not every game has to, but for the way this game was marketed and the way the game was portrayed, you would have thought they would have had something to say. It's disappointing. It could have added a layer to it, and it just doesn't. But I still think if you enjoyed like stuff like Far Cry 3 and you loved Far Cry 4 and Primal, I think there's not much you will hate about Far Cry 5. I don't hate the game. You just wanted more. I don't think it's as good as the kind of like hyperbole that's going around about it, because I'm just bored of its systems.
You're just a very, very demanding gamer.
Very demanding. Yeah.
Nothing will please you.
It makes me just want to get back to Assassin's Creed, essentially. So
yeah, which you I
mean, Yves is happy, so he's like, yeah, if you want to drop a Ubisoft game for another Ubisoft game, fucking by all means, I have your money already, man.
God damn it.
Did we talk about them staving off Vivendi?
We touched on it last week.
Yeah, that was
in
good.
The news,
Yeah, that was good. So that's what I've been, that's mainly what I've been playing. I also played a little bit of Yakuza 0. Very little. That game is fucking wild. You should play that game. Holy crap. It's like story heavy.
What makes it wild?
It's so ridiculous.
It's like, Japanese, right?
Yeah. But it's like this whole fucking touching Yakuza story, and it's super deep, and there's like betrayal and treachery and like people framing one another for crimes. But then it's like this open world-ish game set in like Tokyo, 1980s Tokyo, and you're able to just run around and do things, and you just get into like these street brawls with people, and then the game turns into this really deep fighter. The fighting mechanics are really good, but you're fucking killing these people. Like after each
Yakuza, what are you expecting?
But after each fight, these guys get up and like they brush it off, and they're like, "Cool, that was a good fight," or like, why did you, because apparently this Yakuza doesn't kill people; he just hustles them, so he's just beating them up. But there's finishing moves in this game where you stomp on a dude's face,
that would kill him,
or you throw his face into like cement. He's dead. I don't know what to tell you, but he's fucking dead.
Well,
like, there's no way he's walking away from that shit.
They just didn't tell you that it's play cement, man.
Like holy crap. But the fighting in the game is really good. It's all sorts of ridiculous as well. It's just over the top and silly. But basically what my 3 hours was spent doing was watching my mate play around with the fighting mechanics, and then we found a Sega arcade. So we spent about an hour in the Sega arcade. We played Outrun.
Wow.
And then we played a claw machine for about an hour. So much that we caught everything in the claw machine, had to go to the clerk at the arcade and say, "The machine's empty, please refill it."
No,
and we filled it with new toys, and we played more.
You didn't have to beat him up.
No.
You're a good Yakuza.
It was a good time. It was
good citizen.
Yeah, so Yakuza 0, A, beating up people, B, playing claw machines. It's a good game. And Yakuza 6 is out in April, so I'm actually quite keen to play more of Yakuza 0.
Wait, is this? So what are we playing? A demo?
So this is 0.
Game?
No, this is 0. It was the prequel that was released last year. And then they redid, I think it was number 2 or number 1 and called it Kiwami. I haven't played that.
This is all so confusing.
Yeah, this 0 got Yakuza into like the Western mainstream like nothing else. So a lot of... reviews for 6 are already out. They came out like a month before release, which is strange. And they were really good. So
you're just waiting for it now?
I'm going to try finish 0 and then play 6 because apparently these stories are really deep. So I need to know what's cracking.
And they're quite long games, aren't they?
Yeah,
as well?
Very long games, yeah. They're like 100-hour
games. Where would you find the time?
Yeah, I'm going from one animated persona to a very more realistic looking Tokyo where I beat up people instead of steal their hearts. It's a good time.
Oh, man. And you just went from west to east as well. You're like, I don't want Far Cry. I'm going to Japan.
Fuck America. I'm going over to Japan to beat up people.
Japan.
Yeah. Have you been, aside from Fortnite, what you been...
Well, speaking of Japan, I've been spending more time with good old Square Enix and Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
Chapter 2 remake.
Chapter 2 remake, Ponzi scheme, etc.
Moist.
Well, moist. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Sorry. Fun fact: we got a tweet from Zoe this morning. Our friend who's in America. We don't hate America, Zoe. We still love you.
Speak for yourself.
deep. She was saying that she quite liked us mentioning moist.
I can't remember us saying that
at all. No. We were talking about how ridiculous the names are. So you get like Cloud and Squall, and then the guy in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius says Rain. And you're like, next one's going to be wet. And I'm like, no, the next one's going to be moist.
Okay, I remember.
Do you remember now? So anyways, I've played a bit more of that game. Disclaimer, by no means am I far in it yet. It's a mobile game, so how dare. I'm playing very short intervals. I mean, it's a mobile game. I'm not sitting and playing for like 2, 3, 5 hours, whatever at a time.
I haven't seen you posting any screenshots of new, like, is it summons? Or
it's summons.
Do the little chibi Final Fantasy people come in an egg?
In a crystal. It's Final Fantasy, man.
Oh, in a
Although
crystal.
for Easter they should have come in an egg.
Oh man,
it's a missed marketing opportunity.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm busy playing through that now, and I'm not that far yet, but I'm sort of learning the systems because there really is a lot going on.
Okay.
Like, you've got your summons, okay, but then you can equip them with items. But then they also have a thing called the trust level, which I only learned about this morning, is something that grows at a very small rate unless you fuse items to them. And when it gets to 100%, you unlock like a really limited item or special item. And there's just things like that are happening.
What's the trust level used for?
I don't know. The trust level, as far as I know, just unlocks an item.
Oh,
like
okay.
a legendary
just
item
like a
or something.
thing.
Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, I could be wrong. There's probably fans around the world busy flying to me right now, being like, "How dare, how dare you?" But yeah, it's free to play, but I've started to see where the money's going to be made. Although again, I'm not far, but. So let's just calm down quickly and let's just set the context here. Okay.
Yeah,
so the events happen in the game.
Cool.
What's happening at the moment? They're celebrating their 30 millionth download.
Okay.
So every day they're giving you, it's like 2 summons and a trust Moogle, which you use to up the trust level for free. You're getting these every day. Okay.
Moogles are the white things, right?
Yeah, the little cute white things with the little bubble things.
I was going to say yellow, but that's Chocobo.
That's Chocobos.
Yes.
Which I still haven't encountered in the game, which is why it's still a 2 out of 10 in my eyes. No. So I don't know. I suppose playing the game when it came out would have made more sense because you slowly make your way through the story. You slowly grow all your summons, whatever. But the way things are now, I've got tons of characters. Like I'm getting free characters every day. I'm getting tons of items, and I've reached a problem now where my inventory is too full.
Oh no!
So what can you do? You can use in-game currency to expand it, but I mean that in-game currency is not going to last very long. You can probably pay cash to get more of it.
Yeah.
You can expand your inventory, or you can just sell some of your units.
Okay.
So and until you do, you actually can't carry on playing the game until your inventory is within like the limit you have.
Okay.
So for example, I've got 150 slots, which I think is the starting amount, and I've got 220 things occupying all that space, and I can't carry on playing the game or the main quest or something along those lines until I've emptied down to 150. Does that make sense? So I'm like, yeah, okay, I could just use my in-game currency to expand my slots, or I can just sell some of my characters. But I'm like, I don't really know which characters are good or bad yet, and I don't really want to get rid of any. So yeah, I just need to spend some time learning what is the right sort of move. Do I focus on, say, a core group of 5 people and I just sell everyone else or fuse them or whatever? Or should I have like certain characters? There's just a lot going on that I haven't figured out yet. That being said, though, it is a really addictive game. I am enjoying it. The quests are very quick. You load in. Oh, speaking of the loading, that one loading time that I struggled and bitched about
the one that carried on
forever, that is once off. Any loading screens that I've had since then have been like really quick, less than a minute download if necessary.
Oh wow! Okay.
So every Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, they update or do something. There's like a big download.
Okay.
But it happens very quickly. So yeah, that's all good. But yeah, I'm just playing through a bit of the quests, and a lot of the game has opened up. You've got the main quest. You can do expeditions now, which are like timed quests that you send characters off to do, and there's like, they can either fail or succeed, and if they succeed, you get better items and whatnot. Then there's an arena mode where your party can play against other people's parties for rewards. And then there's...
So do you actually like party up with people and take on missions or something?
No. You it's basically like a PvP, I guess.
Okay.
I don't think you're playing real time. I could be wrong, but you basically get your party and you match up against someone else's party, and however they've spec'd. And then I suppose you get points, and if you win, you get items, whatever. So there's the quest, there's the expedition mode, there's the arena, and then there's a thing called the Vortex where there are like these very high-level quests.
Vortex.
That
sounds very fancy.
That's where they're like, so they've got obviously the standard, high-level quests, but when they've got limited time events, that's where they sit.
Okay.
So I haven't touched like any of that yet because I don't have high enough level characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to keep plugging away at it in my little intervals and seeing how it goes. But I am enjoying it at the moment. I mean, it's just...
In terms of like what it's looking at for money, is it one of those things where you have... these summons are where you get your new characters, correct?
Yeah, the characters are summoned.
So is it like, you have the summon, but you need to wait X amounts of time before you can open him or something like that?
No,
like you need to wait 48 hours or whatever?
No, I haven't had anything like that yet.
Okay.
Although there is an energy bar, which I haven't used yet. I don't know if I'm just not far enough in the main story to see it or whatever. But there's nothing like that I've seen where it's like, you want to summon this character, you have to wait 3 days or pay $5, whatever. There's nothing like that I've seen. The only real like wall I've hit is now where it's like you don't have enough space in your inventory. You can pay the in-game currency to expand it, and obviously if you don't have in-game currency, you're going to spend real cash to get the in-game currency.
Okay.
But it doesn't, like that being said, I haven't felt that has been intrusive in any way yet.
Okay.
So I haven't hit a point where I'm like, oh my God, like I actually can't play this game unless I pay money, which is a problem with a lot of free-to-play games like that where you sort of hit a wall and like, okay, you actually can't do anything unless you you're very patient or you cough up money.
Or you cough up quite a bit of money so that it, it appeases.
And like, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, developers have to make money, obviously.
Of course, yeah. And if you're enjoying the game, then that's a great way to kind of, give money back to the people who, made this free game that you're loving.
Yeah, but you do get those games that really seem to exploit that. It becomes like, I don't know, like a loose gambling system or whatever you want to call it.
Of course.
This Final Fantasy, I haven't hit that, and I don't know if it does exist, but yeah, that's literally the only little hindrance I've hit. And it's not really a hindrance. It's just me being like, shit, I'm too lazy to sort out my inventory. Do I sell these people? Do I just up the space? I just need to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because again, there's a lot going on in the game, but I'm slowly starting to come to grips. Like the trust level thing, for example, I had no idea what that was. I just took the time this morning to be like, actually,
you just took that Moogle.
What the hell is it? Yeah, you get trust Moogles. I'm like, what the hell are these trust Moogles?
Imagine you do like a whole trust exercise with them. Like they make a little line with their arms, and you have to fall backwards into the Moogles' arms, and it's super cute.
I'd cuddle them.
Yeah, I'd cuddle Moogles. They're super cute.
They're so cuddly. But yeah, other than that, I've really just been playing that and Fortnite this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you planning, so you're still chipping away every now and then at The Witcher as well?
Yeah, so I haven't touched The Witcher over the past 4 days, but I played a lot of it last week. So last week, Wednesday was a public holiday, and I took Thursday and Friday off work.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah. So I did some admin stuff at home, but I did find time to play more Witcher. And I've made my way to Skellige, but I haven't...
Oh, the islands.
Yeah, the islands.
Very
so
good.
Running around there at the moment.
Very good.
But yeah.
Okay. Good update.
Yeah. Good update. I do want to speak more about The Witcher, but I want to have a nice little chunk where...
it out a little bit,
Yeah.
Okay, no, I feel you. I get you. So should we jump into some news?
Yep, I've got some. Oh, do you want to do news or games releasing this week?
All right, yeah.
Is anything coming out this week?
I actually don't know because last week was pretty busy. So
when is the busy period? Is it now? Isn't it going to April where like lots of stuff comes out and then E3 happens and it's a quiet period and then again it picks up?
Yeah, that's generally how it works. But I mean, the past few years, March has been super busy. March has always been busy because it's like the financial year end for a lot of publishers. So they want to get their games out before the end of their financial year because, profits and stock prices and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely a thing that happens in March. Let me see if I can get the April release date.
Work faster.
Oh, wow. There's actually quite a bit. Okay, so firstly, Minit is coming out. We chatted about that a bit earlier. That's going to be PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and maybe Switch one day. Who knows?
One day.
Yeah, that's coming out on Tuesday. You should buy that. It's pretty good. I don't know why my internet's super slow. It's loading this really slowly.
I was trying to load some news and your internet was like, nope.
Yeah,
What internet do you have? Are you still on LTE?
Throttled, yeah.
Oh, and it's the last day of the month, or second last day of the month.
Second last, because tomorrow's the 31st, and then we're back to full speed until I download one review game, and then I'm dead again. So that sucks. Yeah.
Oh,
but
speaking of internet speed, guess who's getting 50 meg fiber?
Man, I'm so jealous. Yeah, I love the story around that though. Like the whole convincing your soon-to-be father-in-law to get just 2020, and then.
Yeah, so it was a lengthy process because ADSL is reliable and that's what exists at the moment and it's fine, there's no issue. So Lenska and I spent weeks talking about it, trying to sort of, let's encourage this transition to fiber because it's there, it's in the streets, it's available.
But you have to explain it to the people who don't really understand internet that well.
What, fiber?
Yeah.
So
isn't that like you had to explain?
Yeah. No, well, it really was to boil it down. We were like, it's literally fast and it'll cost you more or less the same that you're paying now anyway. It's like, why wouldn't you upgrade?
Yeah, just make it a costing. Yeah.
Make it a costing. It's not about the speed or anything.
No, of course not.
But no, it really is affordable. It's a little bit more, but for if you take into account that you're cancelling the telecom line, all of that stuff, it really is like a worthy upgrade. So we spent weeks busy, debating this and talking about it, and finally we get the go ahead. Like, cool, let's get fiber. Coincidentally, earlier this week, Lenska, she took the dogs for a walk, and she bumped into one of the neighbors.
Okay.
And she was asking him about the fiber, like, how is it? Does he have any downtime, whatever? And he gave her a whole overview, like, no, it's really good. And he asked, what speed are you getting? She said, well, we're going to get the 20 meg line. He's like, no, why would you get 20 meg when you can just pay like an extra 100 or 150
I think it's like
rand?
150 rand a month.
Yeah,
and then you get
for the 50 meg. You should definitely get the 50 meg.
Yeah, 100%.
So now, just to backtrack a bit, when I was looking at the fiber prices, I really wanted the 50 meg, but I was like, I don't want to push it. Let's just compromise. Let's get 20 meg. It's more than fast enough for everyone. Yeah. Don't need to be greedy here.
Okay.
So now, but the neighbor says to Lenska, get the 50 meg. Like, why wouldn't you get the 50 meg? It's not that much more expensive. So she tells me this. I'm like, shit, that's cool. Like, yeah, we should get 50 meg. But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, her dad will never go for it. I tell the dad, and he's like, well, sure. If Graham, the neighbor, says that 50 meg's the one to go for, then let's get 50 meg.
Oh, just because the neighbor said so.
Yeah.
But if you brought this to my attention, then I would have maybe had an issue.
No, I would have not issue. Just would have had debates. Like, no.
Just would have been like, maybe yes, no.
Yeah. So we're getting 50 meg.
Okay.
It's ordered. We're just waiting for it now.
Okay. I'm very happy for you. I'm very excited, and you live very far. If you didn't live super far, I would literally just be coming and leaching off your fiber.
It's not that far actually. From
it's a long way to drive just for internet.
It is, but for me, from there to here this morning was 35 minutes, no traffic.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Which in Cape Townian terms is just very far, but it's really not that bad.
Can't download
anything.
This yeah.
Well, shall we just dive into
okay,
news then?
you can dive into news so long. I'm gonna make a plan while you do that. So
is that mobile internet you have there?
Yes, I'm pulling out my dongle.
Oh boy, put that away.
Boy. Put it back.
Okay, so this week 2018 Video Game Hall of Fame nominees were revealed.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you could give some context on this, because
I literally don't know. Like, I didn't know this was a thing.
I also had no idea it was a thing until I saw this article earlier this week. So yeah, I suppose this is just, I don't know, like an accolade that gets given to a game to be added to the Hall of Fame. I don't know who.
Oh, so it's a game and not the creator?
No, it's the game itself.
Okay.
So let me just read here. Okay, so the last paragraph of this article says, last year saw Donkey Kong, Halo Combat Evolved, Pokemon Red and Green, and Street Fighter 2 earn their place in halls of video game fame. Okay, so that's the sort of caliber of games you're looking at. I'm assuming it's, titles that have been either
influential on the industry and stuff like that.
Just really good.
Okay.
So let's see the full list of games that have been nominated for this year. So we've got Asteroids.
Asteroids? As in like
I think the original Asteroids.
Shit, that's kind of cool.
Call of Duty, Dance Dance Revolution.
Shit, DDR. Now we're getting there.
Final Fantasy 7, Half-Life.
You mean the overrated Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
That's what you said earlier. I'm putting you on the spot, friend.
I love Final Fantasy 7,
sure
but I'll admit that it's because it's the first one I've played, so I suppose I'm very biased to it. I've just got...
At least you all know Final Fantasy 8 is garbage.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 8 is garbage. Won't fight you on that one. Okay, it's not garbage, but it's not...
Oh man,
to me,
these are April 2017 fucking games? Fuck, man.
Okay, ignore that. Back to the list. So we've got Final Fantasy 7, Half-Life, John Madden Football, King's Quest, Metroid, Minecraft, Miss Pac-Man, Space War, and Tomb Raider. That are, I suppose...
I assume original Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Oh, so they don't pick one game. I think they pick a few games based on last year's stuff. So out of that list, which would you pick to add to gaming's Hall of Fame?
I think they're all really good. I think if you point at one, you can kind of...
Make a case for all of them.
Yeah, make a case for its influence on the industry. I mean, like stuff like Minecraft, just being the digital cocaine Lego that it is.
It is. They just took Lego
Raider,
and digitized it.
Metroid for essentially creating a franchise with Castlevania. Stuff like that. It's all very, very, influential in the industry.
I suppose Half-Life and Call of Duty. Half-Life, I know, was sort of the game that showed that shooters could have a narrative attached to them.
Yes.
But I don't know, did Call of Duty come out after that or before that?
No, it was after that.
After that.
It was after that.
I mean, but I'm not taking away from Call of Duty. It has spawned the best-selling franchise, I guess, if you want to call it that.
True.
But yeah, I don't know.
Can I tell you something real sad?
Right.
There's nothing releasing this week.
So I've been filling this spot for nothing. But I'm lying. It wasn't for nothing. But
we can just touch on it quickly. The only thing that was meant to release was Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire on PC, but lucky I checked because I remember there being a delay. It has been delayed to May 8th.
So it's not releasing.
No. And there's nothing this week, and the week after there's only one thing, and then the week after that, then we're in fucking week. Oh my god.
We'll have the list open for that week.
What a week. Yeah. Okay, so let's carry on with news then.
Okay, so I don't know. I've just, I'm being a busy guy, and not like you busy or anything, but you are actually writing news. So maybe you'll have more context on these sort of headlines. Cool. There's a headline that says virtually build your dream PC with PC building simulator. Oh. So are you telling me that this game you're literally building a PC?
Yeah. Probably one of the most boring things you can do. Well, I think it's pretty, I don't know. You feel good afterwards, but while you're doing it, it's kind of shitty.
Success.
Cabling is a fucking nightmare.
Oh god, building PCs.
But yeah, it's a game about that, because of course there's a game about
building PCs.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Why not?
You can have a game about punching trees with Minecraft. Why can't you have a game about building PCs?
Yeah, of course.
A game like Yakuza where you beat people up, but you actually make friends with them. I mean,
I forgot to say, when you beat people up in Yakuza, money flies out of them. It's great.
Well,
made like $1 million
awesome.
yen in one fight. It was mad.
Jesus, what are the stakes of that fight?
I don't know why I'm fighting bankers, but clearly.
And everyone just carries cash. Isn't it weird that you get cash from people when today?
No, it's not like their credit cards are falling out.
People
or
have
whatever.
cards. I mean, I'm in South Africa, and I have cash on me maybe 1 in 100 times. I
hardly ever carry cash.
I always have my card.
I just hate it because it's a pain to have in your pocket.
Exactly. Now you're telling me in Japan, which we all know is like sort of cutting edge of technology, in that they're still walking around with yen, millions of yen.
Yeah.
Don't they have like sensors in their hands that they use as their credit cards? Or we're not at that stage yet?
Maybe not. I mean, the game itself was set in 1980s, so
that's true. That makes sense.
But I mean, it's the same case in later Yakuzas that are so whatever.
Yeah.
Also, it's very weird that Japanese yen, like, I don't know if it's on purpose or just because I don't understand how economies work, but like their figures are super high. So like something that's I think it's 1,000 rand here is like 8,000 yen or something like that. Like, it's super high. That's why when you're fighting and it's like, oh, I just got like 1 million yen from this one fight. You're like, shit, I'm a millionaire. It's like, not that much.
It's like you can go buy a loaf of bread
chappy.
Yo.
This is Zimbabwe.
Jesus.
But yeah, I don't know. It's super weird. It fascinates me. It almost seems like, it rationalizes why when you play Japanese games, the currency values are so huge. So yeah, I don't know.
Makes it addictive. Okay, in other news, the PlayStation Plus games have been revealed, and Xbox games for gold. So let's start with PlayStation.
Cool. Fanboy.
Fanboy. It's the first article I'd open.
I'm sure it is.
Okay, I don't have last month's list, but just to recap, last month you got a very good month.
Yeah.
You got Bloodborne, or we had a very good month, which featured Bloodborne and Ratchet and Clank on the PS4. So,
and also the news that they were going to be dropping PS Vita and PS3. But hey, we got a good month, so no one really focused on that.
Yeah. And we're back to sort of mediocre. Because I'm kidding. It's just, I think it's very hard to follow a month of that scale.
Yeah.
So on PlayStation Plus for April, we've got Mad Max and Trackmania Turbo.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Mad Max is, I think, underappreciated in a way. Came out in 2015. It was a decent open world game. It also came out, very in the same year as the movie. It doesn't follow the story of the movie. It's completely separate. But I think it has some really cool mechanics, with its cool open world and the driving combat. I think being free now, it's 100% worth a try. Yeah.
Everything's worth a try.
Yeah, everything's worth a try. Everything's worth a try.
Have you played Trackmania Turbo?
I played the beta. And I remember you reviewed it.
I reviewed it, yeah. I enjoyed the game. I mean, having it for free, it's got a really addictive loop where you just hop online. You can sort of join a lobby or, I don't know, a gaming playlist, whatever, and you just scroll through tracks and you play against people. And it's really addictive because you never know what's going to come, and you just learn as you play. And it's all about tight cornering, getting the speed right.
I love the intoxicating, like, addiction of, I need to make that perfect lap. I need to do that perfect lap. I need to come first in this event. Like,
and this game's perfect with that. So whether you're playing online or by yourself, you're always going to have this thing. I mean, if I remember off the top of my head, I think there's like 200 official tracks in the main campaign.
Damn.
And they get fuck off difficult.
It's also a beautiful game.
Yeah, so it runs nice, smooth, 60 frames per second. But I just remember trying to get to the last few tiers of the campaign. You have to get you get gold and platinum. I can't remember, but you have to get the best medal or the best time for the previous tracks, and it can be very challenging. So you start getting to this loop of, I'm going to do this track, which is 30 seconds long. Oh no, like I've just grazed that wall. My time's off.
Yeah.
And then you do it again.
It's super unforgiving in that regard. Yeah.
I took that corner just wrong. No, I'm going to try it again. And you go again and again and again.
But to me, it does the Super Meat Boy thing of like resetting a race. It doesn't feel
quick,
super bad.
It's really quick. And yeah, it introduced some cool tracks in the sense that there's like roller coaster-esque.
Yes.
Circuits and whatnot, so your car will literally like your car
a flip.
Yeah, no, your car acts as a magnet and it sticks to the track, and it uses that in some parts of the game to like just have insane loops and
as your perspective is constantly shifted and it's just like fucking warping everywhere.
We actually I played the game for the first time at I think it was Gamescom a few years ago with VR. I think it was Oculus.
I did as well.
It made me feel very ill, especially on those roller coaster tracks.
Yeah, I did that at E3. I remember Ubisoft had a small showcase behind closed doors because VR was still very much like...
Yeah, that was the first time I've tried VR.
Yeah, and they showed off Eagle Flight for the first time. And then they were like, oh, do you want to play Trackmania in VR? I was like, yeah, what could go wrong? Fuck. I was sick for hours. Poor Zoe couldn't deal with that. Jesus, that was a terrible
I don't ever have motion sickness. I've never had anything of that nature while gaming, and I couldn't understand why people were like, oh, VR makes me feel very nauseous. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Let's play Trackmania. And after that I was like, please get this off my head. I want to
Speaking of VR, just real quick, since we're on Sony and VR, they put out firstly PSVR price got reduced by $100, which has also been reflected here. I think you can pick one. I saw a bundle, PSVR, the camera, and VR Worlds for like $4,600, which is really decent.
That's really good, yeah.
So with that, they put out the VR update for Wipeout, the Omega Collection, and I
imagine that
basically it looks incredible.
Nauseous.
Yeah, I mean, it looks incredible. Our friend at SA Gamer, David, really, really loves his Wipeout, and he had nothing but praise for the VR thing. But Digital Foundry did say that they've tried it, and you better have your VR legs firmly adjusted because it is Wipeout is super fast. It's very colorful, and now that you're in the cockpit of this massive thing and swinging about very fast, it can make you extremely.
The fact that I don't know if it makes a difference, but in Wipeout, your vehicle flies or floats. It must be a weird disconnect, not seeing like tires or whatever.
Apparently, it's really cool because unless you've looked at the concept art for Wipeout, you don't get a sense of how big these crafts are. Like in the concept art, you see the craft and a human next to it, and that thing is like an aeroplane. It is massive.
Really?
Is that big? It's huge.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Massive. So apparently VR does a really good job of instilling that sense of scale because now you're looking at everything from the view of the cockpit. That's awesome. Mainly what I want to try out.
Yeah, that actually sounds really cool. I had no idea. I mean, I've played Wipeout plenty over the years.
And you think they're like Formula One size cars?
Yeah, you think they're these cool little futuristic Formula One cars?
I might have a picture on my laptop.
A little screenshot. We'll show it to the audience.
Yeah,
okay, so just to recap, PlayStation, you've got Mad Max and Trackmania Turbo.
Okay.
If you're an Xbox person, however,
I don't have the picture anymore. Sorry.
On Games for Gold for April, you get The Witness and Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Also a good month, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid month.
The Witness is made by Jonathan Blow, who did Braid. Did you ever play Braid?
This article written by Alessandro Barbosa. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Sorry, because when you said made by Jonathan Blow, I was like, how would you know that? Because I just read that it was made by the creator Jonathan Blow. You wrote that.
Yes, I did.
Yes, he made Braid.
Me.
It's me, Alessandro.
Did you ever play Braid?
I never played Braid. I know of Braid.
Yeah, Braid's really good. But
it's a 2D time rewinding.
Yeah, 2D time rewinding puzzle platformer. It was Jonathan Blow's first game, as far as.
And that is a big deal when it came out. Huge. Like in terms of for indies and whatnot.
Yeah, huge for indies. It was a big part of the the staple of games on Xbox Live Arcade that made that service really good. The Witness is an entirely different game. It's you're set on like this really colorful island that is locked up in all sorts of places by these puzzles, and the puzzles they look like grid puzzles, but that's an oversimplification of what there is in that game. Some you'll just have to like draw a dot, like a line to the other end of this map, and then it opens something. Some will have mysterious symbols that make no sense to you, and you have to investigate other parts of the island to kind of get clues. And it's the sort of game you'll have a notebook with you on the side, just writing down clues and stuff like that. And then Assassin's Creed Syndicate's pretty... Did you play Syndicate at all?
Is that the British one?
Yes, the British Industrial Revolution one.
I played... So, as someone who's... let me just have an honest moment. I've never played Assassin's Creed, ever. I've never played any Assassin's Creed in my life.
Oh my God.
And then there's some way we end this friendship. Come E3 2016... Was it E3? Yeah, Syndicate came out in 2016, I think.
Yeah. No, 15.
Was
because
it
2016 they took a break.
Oh, okay. Then it was at Gamescom then the year before. I wrote a preview on Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So going to the demo room, you've only got 15 to 20 minutes to play the game. And the guy behind me was sort of like, oh my God, this guy has no idea. What is this dude doing? Because with Assassin's Creed, I'm like, cool, like what's the run and jump button? But apparently you like hold the button, there's like auto run and like auto
parkour and stuff
I'm
like
that.
That
was very foreign to me. And I had to be like, I know exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, back to the point. That's my experience.
That's your experience with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Okay. Syndicate's pretty good. I think it got a lot of flack because it came out the year after Unity, which was not good.
It was garbage, apparently.
But it was garbage. But Syndicate.
Speak English.
Yeah. Syndicate is really good. I really enjoy it. I think it deserved a better reception from sales because it sold really badly and kind of led Ubisoft to do we should take a break from this shit. But for free you should really go for it. Stars these two twins, Jacob and Evie Fry. They're really awesome. So go for that.
In London.
Yeah, in London. Oh, one other thing coming with Games with Gold, Dead Space 2 is backwards compatible. And Dead Space 2 is phenomenal.
Yeah, I close articles, so I can't go back.
Play that fucking game. Dead Space. It's not as good as Dead Space 1, I think, in terms of atmosphere, but the gameplay is way better, and it's just super good game. Don't play Dead Space 3; it's garbage.
I haven't played Dead Space 2. I played 1 though.
Enjoyed one. So good. I love
really
Dead Space 1's like one of my favorite games of all time.
I can't believe we finished that, seeing as we both aren't big fans of horror games.
Yeah, it's true. It's the one horror game that I was just like so engrossed with. Yeah. But yeah, it's backwards compatible, so you can buy that shit now and
do it
on Xbox. Got any more news?
Are you still playing Pokemon Go?
No,
at all?
Don't be silly.
Do you know anyone still playing Pokemon Go besides Tracy?
No, just Tracy.
If you are a Pokemon Go fan, you'll be pleased to know that daily quests and story missions are coming to the game. I don't know if they are out already. I don't know. I suppose it's
Can I catch Mewtwo yet?
No. So let me just have a quick look at the intro of this article.
Did you not prepare this, Matty?
No, I didn't.
We're getting lambasted about not preparing a podcast correctly.
Who said such things?
Craig. God damn it.
But Craig's got a gaming addiction, so his opinion doesn't matter.
Damn.
So, according to the statement on the Niantic Labs website, Pokemon's Go Professor Willow is looking for trainers to help him research the mythical Pokemon Mew.
Man, fuck Professor Willow.
Professor Willow, not Professor Oak. Get your trees right, man.
Shit. I was thinking Professor Oak. He just wanted Ash to go away because he really fancied Ash's mom.
Oh, God. What? What storyline is this? Okay, so it looks like you're just going to help conduct research, and this entails field research and spatial research. So field research will take trainers out to the local Pokestops where spinning the disc will give you certain objectives like discovering and catching specific Pokemon, engaging in battles, or something else.
I forgot that you spin a disc at the Pokestops.
Yeah.
That was pretty satisfying.
Yeah, mildly satisfying. Mildly. Actually, it was very, very satisfying now that I think about it. Spin it, get all that loot.
Yeah.
And sorry, the other one is special.
Imagine how many eggs we would have hatched with all the running we do.
The reason not the reason, but one of the reasons I was put off Pokemon Go is that I actually did run with the app open, and you couldn't track your eggs without having, unless you had the app open. I don't know if that's changed. Yeah, it was very dumb. Okay. So I was like, whatever, I'll keep the app open while I run. So those 10K eggs, I'd have a few incubating and I'd run 10Ks. And when I looked at my app, it would only have picked up like 7.
That's garbage.
And I was like, yeah, no.
Garbage.
Not for me.
I should have tapped into Fitbit's API.
Exactly. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe the game's changed. It's been a while since.
Yeah, it's been good 2 years.
The game's been out, 2 years now. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
You excited for Harry Potter Go? Whatever it's called.
No shit.
I'll play it for a week.
Yeah. I don't share the same fandom for Harry Potter that I see a lot of people I know.
This is when I unfriend you.
It's
How dare you?
I like Harry Potter. I've watched all the films. They're cool. But
how dare you?
I don't have this man, I need all this Harry Potter.
What house would you be in?
I don't know. I like Ravenclaw. I don't know. They're blue. They've got a bird. It's a good time. What's the Hufflepuff emblem?
It's a badger.
It's not a bear.
No.
It's like a honey badger.
It's a honey badger. Why does it get so much flack? Have you watched that video, The Honey Badger Don't Give a Fuck?
No.
No, we'll watch it.
I thought that was from Far Cry.
Oh, maybe there's a little Easter egg.
Because I know Far Cry 4 had fucking honey badgers and everyone hated them.
Oh yeah, because honey badgers don't.
And now in Far Cry 5 it's turkeys.
What?
Yeah,
get killed by turkeys. So that's coming to Pokemon Go. And do you have any news on your site? No,
I haven't even opened it.
Nothing. I've got one more.
Oh, the one thing I did want to touch on was Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So there's all this weird wording going on with Sea of Thieves. Microsoft. Yeah. So Microsoft came out and were like, "Hey, thanks for supporting Sea of Thieves. It's got 2 million players." So, they say players because they don't differentiate between how many of those players are on PC, how many on Xbox, how many of those actually bought the game, and how many of those came from Game Pass, so they don't actually own the game. 2 million players. Cool. But the thing that got everyone talking was they said it was the fastest selling new IP on the Xbox. Now, firstly, a lot of the places that reported on this omitted the Xbox part. So it was now the fastest selling IP of the generation, which is wrong. I even got that wrong because I'm looking at all this reporting and people are just fucking getting it wrong. So it's only confined to Xbox and it's only new IPs. So on the top of your head, can you tell me how many new IPs you can recall that are only on Xbox?
That are only on Xbox, new IPs.
Mm-hmm. So one's Cuphead.
What, coming this year?
No. Just new IPs just in this generation. Quantum Break.
Yeah, Quantum Break. There was that what is it? Dragon? No, what? What is the one that is cancelled? Scalebound.
Yeah, which was cancelled.
Yeah,
so
cancelled.
Not there.
No, there's Crackdown, but that's not a new IP. There's Forza, not a new IP.
No,
Halo, Gears of War.
Not a new IP.
So they have no new...
Very few new IP on this generation. So that calls to question that entire... I mean, it's an accolade nonetheless. Sea of Thieves is a game that, people had been kind of mocking for a while because it's like, well, what do you actually do in this game? Then the beta came out and some people loved it like I did. And other people were like, well, this game seems really shallow. And then the game comes out and critics are like, oh shit, yeah, it is shallow. It's really actually not that good. So for it to go, and still set records for best-selling IP, which was held previously by Quantum Break at 200,000 units in the first week, which is not that great. I mean, it's still good. It's still good for Microsoft. But the interesting thing is that this was the first real test for Games Pass. You have a game, Sea of Thieves, that people are talking about, they're unsure about, and now you have the service that allows you to essentially play the game for, I think it's $10 or $15 a month. So you can try the game without buying it.
Yeah.
So that seems like, this seems like the perfect storm. A game that people aren't sure about, the service that allows you to try it for a quarter of the price. You would think that, oh, that's going to really negatively affect sales because now more and more people are subscribing instead of buying the game. The thing is, this accolade of being the fastest selling IP doesn't include Game Pass sales because they can't, because it's not a sale.
Yeah.
So that still means even though there's the service to try out games and not pay $60 for them at launch, more people still bought the game at launch than they did things like Quantum Break. Which is, it does not make sense to me. Yeah. And I wrote about this yesterday because it's super confusing to me. And to me, all it says is that not yet, but it could start up in the future. But right now, the fears of, Games Pass is going to cannibalize retail sales isn't happening.
Yeah.
Because if that was true, more people would just get it on Games Pass.
Yeah.
And the fact that, a lot of people in the comments were like, okay, yeah, but I got it on Games Pass, so it's definitely cannibalizing sales because that's a sale, just gone from me. I'm like, if you didn't have the option for Game Pass, would you have bought it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. Like, if I didn't have the option for Games Pass, I would have been like, well, that's shit. Maybe I'll try it some other day. I wouldn't have paid $60 at launch for it. So the fact that people are subscribing to Game Pass to try it doesn't really mean that they would have, it's not one for one that equates for purchases. It's not like, everyone who pirates a game is a sale lost, because that's wrong. Because if they weren't able to pirate the game, would they have bought the game? Maybe not.
It's a big gray area.
Yeah. So the Sea of Thieves things is super interesting. We'll see State of Decay is coming out in May, and that's another Game Pass title, and then Crackdown sometime this year. But I did not expect that, put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it for news, really.
Oh, you done with news?
I'm done with news. Yeah.
Okay.
Shall we just have a quick look at any questions this week?
Yeah. So we did get...
We've got one or two. No, also I already mentioned Zoe, who just tweeted at us saying we made her laugh. Nothing makes me happier than getting people to chuckle. The word moist. We've got Megs, who's sent another question saying, should I play through Far Cry 3 and 4 before touching Far Cry 5? Is the season pass to Far Cry 4 worth it?
Never played Far Cry 4, can't tell you.
Yeah, also, I finished the game, but that was literally the Easter egg ending, 20 minutes. Other than that,
I will say this, though. If you buy Far Cry 5 and you get the season pass, in May, they are releasing Far Cry 3 Classic, which is like a remaster of the third one. And I still think Far Cry 3 is 100% worth playing.
Yeah.
I've just never played 4, so I can't say either way.
Yeah, but so in that regard, they're not chronological in any way. They're completely unrelated.
They're like a Final Fantasy vibe.
Yeah, so every game is its own little world.
They share name and gameplay.
And that's it. Although, sorry, Mix has another one saying, will Alessandro be buying a 1180 in the US during E3, maybe an 1170 for Comrade Matthew 2? Will you buy me a graphics card?
Well, NVIDIA hasn't announced any new graphics cards. They actually had a press conference this week where everyone thought they might touch on new gaming graphics cards, especially with the whole shortage because of mining, Bitcoin mining. But they revealed a new Volta card, which is their new architecture for ray tracing, that whole impressive lighting technique that is now being adapted for games. But this is like their Quadro cards, so it's like, for film studios and architects and stuff like that. They haven't announced gaming cards, and I don't think they're going to announce gaming cards till the end of the year.
Yeah.
It would surprise me to see something before E3. So to answer your question, no, because they probably won't exist yet.
So no graphics card for Comrade Matthew?
None for Comrade Matthew. I'll buy you a beret, though.
Oh, nice. What?
Yeah, you can. Can you fit a beret on that head?
Yes. Okay, I'll wrap it around my beautiful afro. What are you talking about?
I don't think you know what a beret is. Berets is those little, like, army French hats.
Oh, yeah. It'll be... Oh, wait. So I was thinking of something you wrap... No, you're right.
thinking of like a turban.
Yeah, sorry. Never mind.
God, you racist.
I'm not racist. My hair will consume the beret. So no,
that's true. Your hair's going to consume you one day because I'm convinced it's sentient. And it's just like that big cousin It thing from the Addams Family, and it's just waiting till you're sleeping real deeply and just going to strangle you.
Like last night.
Although it's going to struggle now because now you have Lenska, and Lenska can just cut your hair as she sees it attacking
Should never. You. No shears can get through this hair.
That's scary. That's absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Well, I think that's a wrap. It's been a good episode, and I feel far less hungover. Thank God for
we sobered you up.
Thank God for modern medication and hangover cures. This is a good time.
Podcast. So we're going to use this. What a time to be alive. This is when we plug our unofficial sponsor.
Blue Space.
Blue Space, I'm going to plug saying podcast cure hangovers. So
I didn't realize that at the end of the podcast, Anchor has their own
little jingle.
plug.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
how
great.
Rude. How
every
rude.
time I listen to one of our episodes, like the following week, whatever, I'm always mind blown. Like, oh my god, you added a little jingle in. And I'm like, oh wait.
Yeah, that's not mine. Speaking of jingles, though, so we haven't been able to sort out an intro jingle.
I know. I need to hunt down. So just to give the audience a quick overview, there's a guy at my office called Dave who does.
Hi, Dave.
Yeah, he does jingles and he does music and he does video. He's really awesome.
Does he listen to the podcast?
I don't know. I should corner him and find out.
That's one asshole. And hi, Dave.
So, unhi. You can't unhi, Dave.
Of course I can.
Fine. So, seeing as he does video at my company, he's very often out of office doing awesome stuff, shoots and whatnot. And then when he's in the office, it often happens that I'm very busy. So there's just very little overlap for me to track him down or to chat to him about a jingle.
Okay.
But that being said, if any of you know of
if you're if you do some sort of sound stuff or you work in sound and you really like the podcast and you want to get a jingle used as the intro, feel free to send us something. I'm pretty sure we won't be that picky. I don't know. We can't produce it ourselves, and I really don't want to pay like a music service for some generic intro jingle. It would be cool if it kind of is personalized. But yeah, we're working on that. But if you feel like you can do something faster or feel like you just want something of yours that is injected into a podcast that you might love already after 5 episodes, hey,
we made it.
We've got a position for you.
Half decade later,
yes.
I don't know how 5, whatever.
But this has been fun. I hope you have a lovely long Easter weekend, Matty, and I hope all listeners had a great one, because this is only coming out on Monday.
Yeah, but Monday's a public holiday.
That's also true. So you can listen to this by a pool if you're privileged.
Or if you're driving. What? By your body of water, wherever you
Yeah, by your body of water, by your fire pool.
Wherever you are.
Yeah, just everyone hope you've had a safe Easter and have a great Monday. And as always, we'll be back next week with one game release for that week and hopefully more impressions on Far Cry.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for listening, and remember, I love you.
I love you more. Don't tell Lenska. Okay, bye.